Hello, comrades. Welcome back to Bricksville. Reverstan, the wonderful, largest, most successful empire ever in workers' resources in the Soviet Republic. I am Premier Rever, and I am back again, and I got a little carried away with working out a few more details, so let me go over them a little bit. I just flattened things out. If you go back and look at the last episode, it might be more clear, but I had originally had it where the city was going to come down this way, but I think we were getting a little too close to some pollution, and I think we're better off making the trains a bit longer and having the city. So I flattened out, well, not flattened, but leveled. No, flattened, yeah. So I sort of made a bigger area where we could make a nice long city in here. And then this was a bit of a mess, so I just sort of, I think, let's put on the wireframe, probably be far easier for you guys to see kind of what I did. Yeah, I just sort of made this look a little nicer, nice slope there as opposed to the big jagged thing we had at the end, and filled this in so it's kind of a bigger, flatter area. Put this a little bit closer to our bricks as best we could with our passenger train station here. Redid the road because of that. Redid this so I think it looks nice, and then I also took this out and flattened it a bit and then made a path because I think we definitely will want our train to go that way. I don't see where we would go this way. And this is the train tracks that would take our bricks in and out. So a rather expensive endeavor when you consider it's only for bricks. But hey, you know what? Let's have some fun. It's not about the money. We're a socialist country, right? We just spend taxpayers' money with reckless abandon. That's how it works. In any event, there was another thing that I did, which was I built this bridge right here. So we didn't have at the end of the last episode. This is our passengers that are going to come in and out of our power plants, and we didn't have a passenger thing. So effectively, if you want to look at it on a bigger scale, I got it ready where this is going to be a passenger loop. And then we have the passengers that go over to the power plant. So I kind of got them coming over at least, on the other side of the coal loop. Same thing with this one is the one that goes up to our coal mines. And there's a passenger loop. And then I realized this is probably the single biggest thing I did off camera was to put in another rail line here. And it just parallels this one. And then I have a double bridge because we needed to get passengers up to our ore processing. Now, we haven't designed our ore processing at all, but if I didn't do that, then I'm not sure. So I made a kind of a double bridge. Well, it's a double bridge both ways, or two openings. So that way I could get these railroad tracks. This is our coal line right here. And then I had to redo this road, for that reason. It used to attach down here or somewhere close to that. And in any event, so there we go. So now we can get passengers by train up here. And two separate passenger lines. I don't know that I needed it, but it was going to be a bit awkward maybe to try to get them off of here. And I kind of already have enough intersections on this one. And it's going to be a pretty long ride for them to go from here all the way over to here. So I didn't want to cause more traffic. And we want quite a few people in these coal mines, right? 200 at a shot. And if we have, if we're really ever, and I don't know that we would ever get 200 to one, what is it? 5, 2, 3, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So that's 1,200 people per shift. So I'm not sure that that's even realistic by train. So I thought, well, these take a lot less. I think it's only like 15. But again, it's more an issue of the length of the train trip back and forth. And, and keeping all of that in mind, we want to try to keep in mind that this is going to be extremely heavy as far as its traffic flow goes. So I kind of don't like the fact that this one comes into the middle. But I think, as we lay out this city, I think we need to really keep in mind that this train needs to hit a lot of stops right here. Just a bunch of the stops. So this one will probably head all the way down. This one will probably pick up people close. Now this one, I did get a comment from Steve asking about using cars, and I kind of dismissed it right away for two reasons. One, I don't know. I have no reason to believe that the cars wouldn't be a reasonably good way to do power plants. Right? We only need 20 people here per shift, and certainly, I think that's a pretty reasonable number of cars at that point to get up here in parking lots and whatnot. But I don't know that they would get up here as well as the trains would, as far as just being on a regular schedule, drop off, drop off, drop off. Though I think that that's not my biggest concern. And let me show you, I'll know more. Let's go head all the way down here for a second. And GW distribution, yep, we're in the neighborhood. I built this parking lot here, and I fully intend to, and we built another, oh look, this is almost done. So we really need to get this, we need to get this on the go. So in order, sorry, I think, yeah, there's my car dealer. Now, I don't know, will they go all the way across town to get a car and come back here? I think they should. Now, I don't know. Let's see. But I need to get, well, these guys don't have many, but you know what? You might as well help where you can, right? Oh, that's not. Yeah, help where you can. What is this? Road doesn't connect in. Eh, why don't you help where you can? All right, so let's, while we're down here, and by the way, this is there's so much going on the map. This is why I have it paused yet again. Yeah, let's make sure that's assigned and that's assigned, and that parking lot's already built, and those footpaths are already assigned, and I'm not sure what we're doing with this one, but all right. Well, anyway, so once we get a car dealer down here, I'm hoping that enough people will go to this. Now, this is a bus stop as well, so if the car dealer doesn't work, and I can already see there's some people waiting there. Yeah, I'd like to make this all about the, because we're not getting enough people to this power plant, even though we have them at this moment. So, does that make sense? So we're going to get rid of these houses right here because they're kind of polluted, and there's not many people living in them because of even just a little bit of pollution. So these won't be polluted, so I'm hoping to get people to move into here, and then we'll try to see if we can't get them up there by car to this, and is that, yeah, we probably even could. So you don't really have control over where they go to work here. So anyway, that's the point is that if I see this works really well, I'll know for the future that doing cars to power stations is the best answer, or close to it. All right, so in any event, the other and probably bigger concern is if we come up here. Now, I can't attach to the power plant, but these cars only go about 1 kilometer. And it's by road. It's not, this is, as the crow flies, as we might say here in the US. So in order to get to like here, you would have to travel, this is like 1/4 of a mile to this point, right? So then if we back up, not 1/4 of a mile, 1/4 of a kilometer. There's about another 1/4 of a kilometer. And then by the time we get into Bricksville, and depending on how many people and from where, I'm just concerned that this power plant here in particular would be too far away, depending on which way they have to go by road. We could make the road relatively direct, of course, but I'm just concerned that they would drive out here consistently enough for power plants, right? Like if we talked about it for the bricks, I'd feel a lot more comfortable because you know what? If I don't make bricks every minute of the day, I'm But I just feel like I know that the trains will work and that they'll get in here and do their thing. So in any event, there we go. What I really want to get done, and I want to get done enough of this that we're either on to another construction or we're playing some time forward. Tomorrow's episode, the next episode is the Saturday summary, so I want to play some time forward, get some things built, and that includes getting people in and out of the city here. So what I'd like to do is probably try to start up in this corner. You can kind of see where our railroad tracks come down. So if we were to say we were going to take people to the power station, just because this is right here, I think I would like to make sure I can get into that power station with a train stop. Yeah, we might as well make it I wonder if we even really need 1,500 passengers. I mean, the whole total, like we only need 20 people in 8 or in 4 of these, right? So that's 60 per shift, and 60 times 4 is 240. So I'm thinking maybe we just put a small train station here, and the only reason for this train station will be to get people to... Yeah, they'll have to be able to turn around too, won't they? So, oops, I didn't really mean to plop that, but now that I did, I guess that's not so bad. And let's get rid of that and see. See what this looks like. And then they're going to have to turn around, which is a little bit annoying, I guess. I'm going to bring this out kind of long. Okay, bring you... Nah, that didn't work at all. Not even a little bit. Yeah, so let's bring you around 180 degrees. Yeah, it's a little weird the way it won't find its own circle. All right, good. And that's the exact kind of thing that I want to do to, you know, before I design this too much. Like each of these will have to come in and turn around, right? One way or the other. Or let the train loop around. I guess we could have them flip back and forth, but I don't know. It's a little unrealistic for a couple reasons. Okay, so now that means we can put in houses around this, and I guess we would tend to want to put like maybe our first house. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go with the brick flats, and we'll count out, right? We need 240 people. Or, I'm sorry, these oh, you know what? Well, yeah, brick. Well, we're not going to really make brick until after we're done, but I think Bricksville should mostly be made out of bricks. Now, what is the best brick building? This one, well, has very little. Flats, prefab. Yeah. There we go. Well, these are holding a few more people. This one, I guess, but it's got a pretty low quality. I don't know. Well, there you go. This is a nice high quality brick building. I think we should face it this way. And make it so it's nice and square to the grid. Can I see that? And then what I want to do is... Yeah, that's a little further than I was hoping for, but I need to get a... Well, do we need a road out of here? Here, let's get a walkie road, so it'll save us having to have a... Can we go straight there? Darn near. So if I came here, and then we'd have a road that comes off of here, then that will attach, right? Thank you, game save. And let's go back to our... Well, you know what? Let's put another road this way, just for the sake of design beauty. Yeah, because this, we're going to put a loop in here, so this might push this whole thing a little bit that way compared to what I was thinking of. Now, that's all right, we need, how many people? 240 total, and we almost have enough with those two houses, as long as these people don't go working in other places. But we'll do more than that. Well, we're going to do a lot more houses, and I guess we're going to have to take account. Which one was it? Yeah, this guy. Right, and what I'm thinking of is... You're not going to let me do that? Yeah, this is the problem with not leveling things. See, because this area is not level, it's not letting me put that house right where I want. But I think I could maybe do that. And then Yeah. Let's try this again. Yeah, I'll try to put that a little more level with the other one, and then yeah, so now this should be plenty of people and then some for, yeah, see, then we could put this by. Okay, good. All right, so now that is enough people, and we've got all of our people settled for the power plants themselves. Now, how far away? Well, now here's the thing. They're going to go to the store by a bus stop or trolley stop out here. So let's see if we get a trolley stop. Yeah, maybe like here. Now let's see, is that enough room? Yeah, I think it is. Because I might come a little further this way with the road that's going down. Let's see, how far away are we? Yeah, only 180, even if we're all the way over here. So we should be in pretty good shape. Hopefully this works out as well as I'm hoping. So in other words, these people won't necessarily have a shopping center near them. All right, so we'd have a trolley stop there, and then or is that further away? I don't know. Yeah, and then I think what I want to do is, let's see how this looks from far away. Yeah, that's fine, kind of. Yeah, it's raising that up a little more. That's fine. All right, because this is going to be a big loop circle for people to go around. And do we want? I don't know that we want to make it as tight as we can. Let's make it a little bit not quite as tight as we can. All right, and then this would be the other side. Let's see, can we make it kind of straight? Yeah, we can work with whatever bounds we set ourselves. So we'll just bring this down. You know, did I make that not as straight as I would like? I mean, it's awful close, but yeah, I think that's a little bit straighter. All right, so this would be a loop where we'll have enough stops that all of these people can hopefully get over to the trolley stop. Now, how many does this hold? We don't want to overload 200 passengers. So, I mean, that should definitely be good for these. Or do we want another, yeah, now that we're looking at it, do we want another trolley stop that's a little bit closer? Yeah, I think I do. I want to sort of get it as close as I can to that turn. Oh, that's, yeah, we will need that, but not right this second. Oh, yeah, you know what? I wonder if we shouldn't put that in like right here. Yeah, let's do that now. This is the where we get our power from. Will that work? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, see, I think it's going to make it just a little bit need to be wider, which might be okay. Let's see if we can get it to attach to this one. Come on. I saw you wanting to go. There you go, like right there. Yeah, so let's see. Will this attach? Yeah, that's ugly. Let's just make it a little bit nicer. Even if it swings wider as it goes through there. I'm okay with that a little bit. Right? It doesn't have to be, I mean, it's okay if it swings wide a tiny bit. There we go. Except for, I didn't really want to build that, did I? Yeah, so let's, yeah, see, it's a little nicer if I make it just a little bit wider, and I'm going to get rid of this whole stretch. After saying it doesn't matter if it's not straight, but all right, now let's come up where we think that we're out of that turn. And can we put another trolley stop? Nope, that's not a trolley stop. I keep wanting to put those in there. It's in the same spot. That's all right, but we got our thing in here, so that's okay. Yeah, let's see, can we make you just one road? A little annoying that every time we put one of these down, it... Yeah, I guess I'll force you out here, and then that's far, far worse. Yeah, that's even getting worse yet. Yeah. I want it to look a little nicer than that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, I think I need to just come out this way, and then yeah, that's fine. A little wide at the top, but again, at least it looks like a semicircle. All right, so there we go. I think all of these people should be able to reach over here. Yeah, and I you know what? I'm really... Still really not liking that. Am I getting too fiddly? Yeah, I want to put that as close as you'll let me. No, now you won't let me put it in at all, will you? Yeah, I want to get a little bit closer to those houses, as close as it'll let me. Yeah, that way there's just no doubt that, oh, I didn't connect the road. It looked like the road was going to be connected, didn't it? Yeah, that was a jip. That definitely looked like the road would connect. There you go. All right, so that's good. That's... I know it doesn't seem like that would make a difference, and it probably won't make that much, as not as much as I made it out to be, but there we go. So we'll have walkie roads all in here. Probably could get rid of like this and that, and then just make this one, a few less projects for them to go back and forth on. Good. So now what I'd like to do is let's continue with this road a little bit. And we should get, I don't want them to have to go too far for their schools and kindergarten, so let's get them a school and a kindergarten. And that should be able to cover a few more houses. Now, yeah, so this will be up here. Get him a nice little kindergarten. Do we want to step the kindergarten? Yeah, you know what I'm thinking of is, would this block? No, that shouldn't block other trains. Yeah, because we need more kindergarten, so we'll put a school. Put a school like, say, here. And And then what I think I'd like to do, we'll get the school a road. You'll be able to attach. Yep. And if I brought you longer. There we go. Nice walkie road for them. Now, can we get a few extra houses in here? And that, well, I guess the next thing we should think about is the next train station. So, and probably would want to put some houses in here and then maybe like another train station down this way. And that would be able to gather up people from this whole area here. So let's see, what does that area look like? Yeah, like if there was a train station here, some of those people could get to it. All right, so let's like right where this road ends, kind of. Like I think they would be able to walk pretty close to this far, especially with walkie roads kind of straight to it. All right, so let's get a big train station. And do we put it just right in line with that walkie road where it ends? What do you guys think? It's not quite straight, but close. And then, yeah, this line is going to be the one where we need the people, a lot of people. So we'll bring this past here. Good, that looks nice. You know what? I need to be able to get this guy in. Yeah, let's start out with him or her. What? Yeah, see, that wouldn't have been enough room. No. Yeah, let's take that back a little bit extra so we can get this. All right, and then this one. Come on, you can make it look a little nicer than that, can't you? Yeah, no crossing over. There we go. And let's just delete that little section. All right, so now this one would come here. No, it just seems like sometimes you can never get it quite exactly how you want it. Yeah, that looks nice. So then this, I'm picturing, would come all the way across here, one way or the other. Now, you know, I've never built, and I'm thinking that just because of the way this is, yeah, do we have a loop that comes in here? Yeah, I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking of, is that we have something like this. Except we'd want to consider the crossing of these things. So in other words, some of the trains could come into here and just go to these two stops. Wow, now, you know what I think I'd do? Let me change that up. I think in order to avoid the crossing over, maybe what we do, oh yeah, you know what? Let's see. Well, when it comes to up here, we would want this track we want to do a British, and this would actually work out really well, I think. By British, I mean left hand. So in other words, what I'm thinking of doing is we take this railroad track here. Yeah, we're going to get into that cliff. Let's go. Yeah, let's see. Let's get this guy in there first. Just where we know it can be built. right? I could level out more, but I don't necessarily see the need. Yeah, these two may have to cross at some point. Let's get, after we did such a nice job here, I think I'm going to have to destroy that just to get these two. So at some point, these will go pick some people up from this other end of town. But this track, and I'll just do it for demonstration purposes at this moment. This track, trains coming back, it's going to be left-hand rule on this one track alone. We're going to have special drivers imported from the UK. And they're going to come in and go all the way wide and turn around and then pick up people and go back onto right-hand rule here. Nope, too steep or too sharp. Really, what are you doing there? That's yeah. Sometimes, oops. Yeah. See, look. Watch out for that. I overlap the tracks there. It, yells at me for. Oh, look, it fixed itself. So for now, we have a node. So I think that's fixed. Now, if we ever have a problem. That'll be the reason why, right? There we go. See how you can put the track in first and then make it look nicer? Right, so we'll have another section of city a bit further down. And I think I'm gonna pause the video and design a bit of it because I really just sort of want to get a lot of this laid out. And I think you guys are getting the idea here, I hope. And then I'll just come back when I've done some of it. So I just want to get an idea of where, distance-wise, they'll definitely walk 224 to go to that train station. So if I just put this here with a road, so I can see where it's at. All right, we can even delete the substation. All right, so this would be the zone of this thing. And then what I'm thinking of doing is, let's bring this road down just so we can get an idea where that is. Yeah, boy, that's kind of far away from a shopping center. Now, by the way, the trolleys probably aren't going to go around in a circle. They're probably just going to be going back and forth. But, yeah. And I kind of picturing just trolleys and see how that works. But what I would do down here is level out an area somewhere that's a little bit reasonable. Yeah, maybe I start down here. And then I would put a shopping center in and a cinema because they seem to do fine with shopping centers and cinemas. Yeah, we'll put a big shopping center first. And yeah, I would probably, just trying to see where I'd put a road cargo station. Probably have a bridge coming from the road up there. Yeah, let's put in the road cargo station first. Do we have one here? No, we got to go back over to roads. Yeah, so we'd put that in somewhere like this. And then we'll give them a big shopping center. Again, I'm not 100% sure how this will work out, but good. Look, it's attached to the road there, so that's good. Probably get a little bit closer to that thing. Now, yeah, I might even put, but this is kind of getting longer than I was picturing it, just so you know. I was picturing kind of like 4 sections of housing up here, and then like a central section, and we'll have like another shopping center over here. So if we were to, come here with our terrain leveling tool, I would sort of level out another area for a shopping center. Yeah, probably even go a little bit extra large with this one and put in let's see. Yeah, if we put the shopping center over here, yeah, I could do it this way. Yeah, that would be fine. And then, yeah, back over here to Technical University. We probably want to put it this way, huh? Yes, it's so, and that's why one of the reasons I realized I need to pause. Like as I get this worked out, right? So we would try to keep in line with this little bit of road that we sort of measured, assuming the other side's going to work out the same. But I need to level out more this way so that I can get this university in. Probably get rid of some of that road, but I don't want to level where the road is too much either. But this would be a decent way. You know, so does that make sense? So let me just build more of this town, just so we can make sure we get this done, and not done, but done enough that we feel comfortable with, you know, starting construction up for our Saturday summary and getting crews over here, getting them working, playing some time forward. Not that we couldn't do it at any time, but it's more about the catastrophes that would be happening around the rest of the map while I'm not paying any attention to what's going on. It is amazing how, yeah, so it's not quite, oh, look at that. Yeah, we don't need extra, well, we'll get a little bit of extra room. But anyway, let me keep leveling and pushing this forward, and then, you know, I'll come right back. Now, I won't do too much, but I'm going to do a bit. Let me just put it that way. All right, see you guys in a minute. A little more progress is made. I'm determined to get this done, or at least get enough of it done that we can move on to the next thing, as I said. All right, so anyway, what I did was a few things. I put in a few more trolley stops, right, because I'm kind of eyeing up where I would put people. So there would be trolley stop here, and then on the other side of the shopping, because I am picturing a little bit more housing down here, maybe. Let's see what happens, and I'll show you why in a second. So the other thing I did was I put 2 cinemas. Now I'm hoping they can go and do their shopping in their cinemas from these, you know, whichever way they come in from those things. Now there'll be people that live probably close enough to walk there, but in particular, like these 4 trolley stops, I would be picturing taking people down to their shopping. So let's hope that works out well. And then again, we have a university here. So at least hopefully a number of them get to the university. We'll probably put up some, call it university housing. Not necessarily the dorms, but at least some like special houses where we know we can keep the university professors in stock, I hope. And then the other thing I did was I changed around our trains in here. I built this little section of town. Now, I went and did some mathematics, and I wrote down each of our train loops for passengers, right? So here is our bricks. Now, our bricks could use up to, I mean, again, are we ever going to use this many bricks? Probably not. But, hey, you know what? Let's have fun. So in any event, the bricks would need 300 people total. 3 shifts, 75 in a building, times 2 buildings, right? So 150 per shift. I'm sorry. Yeah, 150 per shift. What did I do there? Yeah, that's 450. Oops. So now 450, each of these houses has 162. So let's just call that 150, right? So it's going to work out anyway. So if 150 times 4 is 600. So that should give us plenty enough people to come over here, and plus a few other citizens just for spare, I guess you'd call them. But then here's a train stop. And while I was doing that, I thought about, we have to get in here. We have to be able to get trains into our loops, and then we also have to be able to construct them. So I'm thinking that we would, send the construction cranes in this way for now. All right. Now, we could also possibly talk about constructing another. I don't have another train construction thing, so I think that's going to be smart at some point. The closest one at this moment is like all the way up here, so that's not going to do. So we'll, after we get done figuring this out, maybe before the end of the episode, we'll see. We're going to build this other rail line across. You know, do we want to put it like right over here, or are we better off just up over here maybe, where we can kind of get to both sides of it a little bit? You know, we can get a lot of trains going up and down here at that point, but I kind of want to lay out the rest of our town, which will be down there. So in any event, like this will allow for the trains to come in just to join the loop, if nothing else, and it one way or the other we'll be able to get construction cranes. We may put some temporary tracks here to let them get in a little bit better, but we'll see, right? Again, but I want to keep that in mind, and tying these loops together with like this track didn't hurt, I don't think. So like this is just going to be like a little loop right around there, taking the people. So they'll probably just, I would guess, just one train. We're going to need some extra trains for here just because we want to make sure that we never run out of people. So it would probably be, this might be like the perfect place for the trams maybe, where instead of putting even the train sets on there, we put, and again, I don't agree with the trams and the way they use it in this game, and I don't think most people do. Through all the confusion of the tram and trolley and all that, I think most people agree with me that a tram shares its tracks with the road, even in Europe. So in any event, all right, enough of that. So there we go. So I think that describes everything it did. Now, I didn't put in a school over here, and I didn't put in any sports yet, so I am aware of that. And again, there's a school here, so I'm thinking, you know, where do we put in a school for these people? And I'm definitely thinking maybe down here, but do we put it, maybe we put it on the lower level in this case, do this a little bit different. Like now that we know where the one thing kind of needs to end, we could come here and just level this off a bit. And I did get a comment about how I make it look easy, and I definitely appreciate, appreciate the compliment. And I do spend a good amount of time leveling, but the other thing I'd say is keep in mind, the advice I'd give you is that you get better at it and try to do as little of it as possible. I mean, in this case, you know, there's quite a bit going on here, but if you look, in some ways, it's not like, you know, there's quite a bit over here, but it didn't really take that awful long, I guess, or at least that's my feeling about it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get these people to school. And do we just want it to attach like that? Yeah. Oops, I thought I was building it. Yeah, we'll get it to attach. I may, probably off camera or whatever, there's a lot of chunks to these roads where you know what I mean? Like I don't want them, but every time I plop a building down, it completes all the roads, so I can't really, it might be a little nicer if it stayed in construction mode. And then we should be able to get a road. Well, this one's a little tiny bit tighter, isn't it? Let's just test. It's good to test these things. So we're going to put a walkie road, not that it matters, but right. So in other words, make sure that you have enough space in the buildings that they'll attach like that. And expertise. This is where I make it look easy. Like I kind of know that you have to be like at least 2 or 3 apart from these when you plop them down. Like you do get experience with that. So there we go. So we'll have a school. We should probably get these people a kindergarten up here. Just so that, and you know what, let's put it over this way. And then we can plop down some sports for them. And sports, I don't know. I don't want to say they can never get enough sports, but it's certainly good to make sure they have plenty. I'm going to stay away from that a little bit, like there. You know, let's plop down the sports here. Oh, you know what? There'll be like 2 sides of town. One will play tennis, the other can play. Again, I don't know if they're going to be in the way. And yeah, do we want to put? Yeah, I can't say that you never have enough sports. I don't know how critical it is, but yeah, they kind of have some right there. So I don't know, plop down another sports there. I don't want them to get in the way, and then we'll have to get power in and out of here. So yeah, there we go. All right, so I guess the only other thing I did is I redid this a little bit with the train station over here. See how I leveled out a bigger area? And I'm going to end up doing that over here. Like I said, I don't really I want to make sure we get this done. So I'm going to keep, this will be a choppy video in that respect. So we'll level this out more. See, I'm not too worried about it being not level there. And now that we already put our cinema in down further, and again, even if all of these guys can't reach this train station, that's okay, because we're going to need a few people in here to work the town. And we don't have to put houses and we can, you know, just put them as close as we think they can get. And we can kind of experiment with how far that is. All right, so let me lay out some more of the town and start counting houses. Oh, you know what? I started talking about the number. Yeah, I'd like to put some roads. So we're going to have to get these attached up somehow, but... All right, so that'll be like a nice straight walking path directly to the train stations, so that however we put the houses, they'll have like the closest walk. So if we were to look at, well, that's a school. But let's put down another house real quick and we can get an idea how far away this is. So I think they're just going to all be, I know people like me to do different things, but for the sake of mathematics being less complicated. All right, so if we were to put a house there and go get our handy dandy measuring tool. Oh, you know what, that's the tool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this guy up here. Oops. What's going on? Oh, there we go. There you go. So that we can get to it at all time. So if I hover right over this house, I'm only 181 away from that train station. So there's no doubt in my mind they should be able to walk from back here over to these train stations. Same thing if we put houses all the way over to here. So I was talking about mathematics. These four houses cover the 450 people we would need over here, right? Because we're going to need 3 shifts of 150. And then in order to do the houses, the total would be 240, which is 4 times 20 people is 80 times 3. And that's 240. So these 4 houses here should be more than enough for that. Maybe even take one of these houses and see if we couldn't send them to here. But again, having extra people, it's just probably not going to hurt us that much. And hopefully they'll find a place to go work. We'll see. And so that then leaves ore processing, right? We have this other train station coming in here. Ore processing is going to need about 540. Each of these needs, and that's a bit of a complete guess because we don't really know how many of these we're going to get. But let's just say we needed 2 for each of the coal mines that we have up there. That would be 12. So that would be 12 times 15 in each one. And I don't know what that is off the top of my head. 540 or something like that, if I'm remembering. Times 3. No, I'm sorry. 180. Times 3 is 540, something like that. So we're going to need 540 people, which is really not, it's like one more section of town. And then if we talked about how many we would need at the coal mines, and we said there's 6 of them times 200, and it's actually 220. So 220 times 6 times 3 shifts is about 4,000, 3,900 and some. And then if I just say I want 20% extra people, which is really kind of too many extra people, but don't keep in mind, we got to get people for the university and, things, other things, all the sports that we're going to put up. And, so I think an estimate of 10% extra would be good. So the grand total of people that we would have is need to work in our productions is about 5,000. 10% would be another 500 people. 20% would be another 1,000. So if we said we needed 6,000, which is 20%, and then divide that by 162, which is the number of people we're getting in this kind of a house, we would need 37 of this kind of house in order to get all the people in. So far we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So really, when you think about it, pretty reasonable. Oops. I think to get that many in, right? If 9 fit in this little space, Let me go see right now how many I can get into here and here. And you can kind of see where I'm thinking, well, there's a good chance I might need to come down into here with like one more section of housing. And you can see I didn't even end this when I redid my loop to get a few more things in. This is the cinema. Does that make sense? So I'm picturing one more section of housing here that can probably do the ore processing people. And then a final section of housing over here that would have another train stop that would take people up to ore processing. So I hope that makes sense. And then we'd also probably have a trolley stop down in here. But let me get all of these houses laid out. And I think the timing of the video so far is working out pretty well as long as we just keep plugging. And at the end of the day, what we really want to get is like some of these houses in here built because, you know, we can then, we probably need to put in a bus stop or two to get them up to our construction offices. But, you know, if I can get a few of these going, I'll be pretty close. We can get, you know, maybe the houses right around here built first so that we can just get some construction people over in this area. All right, well, let me keep going and we will see how it works out. It is coming together. At least I hope it is. All right, so I did more mathematics and just, you know, kind of broke down the number of houses for each area. So we have enough houses here, like we said before, and enough houses here to do the power plants and the bricks. So if you were to take these sections here, which are close to these two train stations, or at least I believe close enough, we now have 7 houses up here, 10 houses in this area, 8 in this one, and that's 25 between these 3 sections here, if you count. This is a section here. And that theoretically is just the right number that we would need to get enough people up over to there. So then we have another 7 houses here, which gets us up to like 34. And what I'm thinking of is, you know, it's a few extra for this, but I don't think it's going to necessarily hurt because some of these houses may struggle to get to the train station, even though they will be close to the shopping center and the other stuff. And we'll have professors and everything else. So part of my debate was, you know, I was talking about a loop all the way around town here, but I think we're going to get rid of that. Now, yeah, so let's go up here and just go. And I think you guys probably already might have noticed the loop-de-loo I made. So we're going to get rid of this, and then we're going to try to, well, you know what, it'll actually be a little cleaner to do it this way. Yeah, sometimes I don't know why it doesn't follow. There we go. See, that'll be nice. Then I can come to here and say, get rid of all of this. Right, now I was half tempted to just declare this, because this would be enough people to do the ore processing. But we're kind of cutting it maybe close, like 25 is just the right number. Now, are we ever going to ramp up those ore facilities that much? Probably not. This is probably enough. But then I had another thought. I already have the shopping center here and a road cargo station. And we have the cinema. I think what I'd like to do at this point is build a little town like here. Well, not a town. Well, I mean, the whole thing is, you know, like cities are made up of little sections, right? So each one of these could be a section. But I think what we could do is like right over in this area, build the town that would provide the construction people. And then in the long run, they would go to the ore processing as well. So, and we really don't need that many. We need like 5 of those houses out here to do that. So if I were to just to, you know, start leveling off, oops, kind of ugly. Yeah, see, that's the kind of ugliness that, the only problem is we're a little bit running into problems. So like these people don't even really need a trolley stop, in other words. So what I think I'll do is just level where it's easy, do some road leveling, and then put in a town here. So let's, to be honest, completely honest, this will be this just getting this started over here will be like the main goal. We can do a little more design work. But there we go. I made almost one of my best ever loops. It's almost circular. It's really hard to make a circle with the railroad tracks in this game. And then the last other thing, so by the way, I've tried to shove in like sports and enough sports and like kindergartens like around here. So there's like another sports. You know, we could probably use a kindergarten down this way. Yeah, let's, you know, you definitely need a lot more kindergarten, maybe twice as many kindergartens as you need. Yeah, are you going to fit in there? Can I get you to turn? Well, let's get rid of this road because we don't need it to go. Yeah, well, we'll need to go there. Let's see. We'll see if we can get the... It's sort of on the wrong side, isn't it? Yeah, and I think I'm pretty confident that everything I did so far will work to one degree or another. Yeah, let's take that back. Even if it's not quite straight. Say, like, I think, you know, things like this will work out where I think all of my houses, it wants to go to the end of the road. Oops. Right, like that would attach, that would attach. So I think everything's far enough apart. So there's another kindergarten. And I'll take a better look as we're building it. And, you know, there's a kindergarten and some sports. And then the other thing is like we put a school right in here. So there is that possibility. Do I have a school? Yeah, there's a school right here. So I'm thinking that should cover most of these. So I did plop some stuff, you know, in the middle here where I couldn't fit it anywhere else. Which really makes that middle kind of even better, right? Like, because you could plop, I could have just put all schools and stuff like right in the middle there. I'm kind of really liking this sort of long layout, as long as it works out with these trolleys to get people to the cinema and the shopping, which I don't have any reason to believe it won't. So let's work on and talk about the last little things as far as this town goes. And I'm going to pause it, and I'll come back when this is all ready, right? So let's delete. Oops. Let's use the proper delete tool. Yeah, let me just get rid of that connection altogether. So we want to come down here. This is really almost, I don't want to say useless, but let's see, can we get it to go? Yeah, look at that. Did I put the right kind of road down? No, of course not, but that shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to double check. And a lot of these I'm going to destroy. I'm not going to do it on camera. Like, there's too many, you know, just too many connections there. It's just ridiculous. We could figure out those later on. Look at that. Like, that's all just different connections that would have messed us up. Now let's real carefully see if we can't get rid of these with that tool. But then I'll come back and do this. So I'll do a lot of that kind of making construction easier off camera. But I don't really like this. And I'm hoping that I can get a bridge that will go across. So I figured, well, let me fiddly a little bit with this, even though we're running out of time. And I'll come right back at the very end. But I'm going to delete out, well, let's delete the railroad tracks. You know what, I'm going to stop this and show you the wonderful job I did. Well, no, you know what, let's design it together. And if that ends the episode, just expect me to put in another little bit of town there at some point. Well, we'll see. Let's see, can I get a railway bridge up from here? There certainly should be. 1, 2, 3. Oops, I think that's not in the best place. All right, can we get across? Yes. But can I get down? Oops. So this railroad stop, it's just a little bit closer than that one. by a railroad stop. All right, so yeah, I really want this to be a bridge. So it's, again, this is all part of the pain of design, I guess you could say. That seems right. So if we come from here, good. Right, and then we'll have to get a railroad stop in. Hopefully this works out. I think we have enough room over this end. So let's, we need to get rid of those roads. That wasn't too bad. I mean, we're not really attached yet, but my little plan for, yeah, can I go? Good, not attached. And the next question is, oh yeah, that'll work out fine. You know what, let me do this one first. See that? Too sharp. Okay, well, I was all proud of myself a second there. This one. Yeah, let's try to attach this one first. It does make sense. This one's the sharper one. And why don't you follow the way he goes? It's not quite perfect there, a little jitty, but there we go. So that guy can get in there. We can pick up a bunch of people. We now have a train over our thing. This certainly will attach. Yep. If you make them too short, you can only have a minimum length. There we go. So that wasn't too bad. All right. Well, let me pause it because we're probably pretty much out of time. So I'll come back and show you this so that we can call this done and start getting construction over in here and do our Saturday summary. So I will talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, here we are, our little construction starter slash ore processors. This should be plenty enough for the ore processors, which need 540. So if you divide 162, which is what each of these houses should hold, you would get and need about 5. So we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, no, we have 6. Okay, well, that's good enough. And what I'll plan on doing is I got a little road coming up to here. Our construction office is real close. Now, this guy is not really much of a construction office yet. He's more just bulldozers. But I definitely want to get this going. But at this point, you know, we can probably throw these people and these towards constructing things over here. So let me describe a little bit better what I did in this last bit. And I'm going to do a Saturday summary, so I'll probably go over this a little, like more of an overview again of the town. But again, 6 houses. I got a bus stop here, so this is where we'll pick up our people. It was a little tight to get it in here, and why fight with it? But then we have a kindergarten and a school, and then right over here I squeezed in some tennis court. So it should, I think, be enough sports. I can always put one over here. We got our loop around. So these people could probably make it to this trolley stop. We got a cinema. They'll definitely be able to make it. We'll put in a footpath or two just to make sure they can get up here nice and easily. And that we should be able to keep them pretty well satisfied while they work on our construction. And then in some of the next episodes, I sort of spread out into here, didn't I? Even though turns out I don't even really need that to go further this way. Yeah, we got a cinema right there, so yeah, I can re-level that back out. See, I think the best thing to do will probably be to put a construction office, like a rail construction, somewhere over here, maybe even down here, so that they can work through this. I'll make sure we build this rail station kind of quickly, but we'll see. Maybe we put it over here, though we got a bit of a hill issue happening. So that'll be something for a future thing. But there we go. We have designed Bricksville, another massive town. And just to, well, here, let me do the math the opposite way. So if we were to fill up all of these houses, which is 49, I guess it's not counting kids, but times 162, it's going to be 7,938 people. So basically 8,000 people that we've just potentially added to our map. So we better start making some plus 21-year-olds, right? So there we go. All right, guys, I'm pretty sure that I'm over the time allotted and want to get this video processed and get on with the rest of my day. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about the whole overall design of it, but quite the impressive town, I would have to say. I mean, it's certainly built in my style, but at the same time, I really do kind of like this looping thing. I really hope this center loop kind of works out, because now instead of being like feeling like I'm forced into those quads, you know, like where I have the tic-tac-toe board that I normally build, you know, we could make this even longer if we wanted to just keep going and going and going. Now, I don't know how much bigger you'd ever really need a city. This is certainly pretty big. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your likes and subscriptions. I definitely appreciate it. And take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.